Greetings, and thank you for letting me join you by video so that I can be present in person for my niece's graduation in Colorado. I've been asked to say a few words to you about conflicts of interest. As you know, each August, trustees are asked to fill out conflict of interest forms, and so you'll be undertaking that exercise shortly. We thought it would be helpful for you to be reminded of the duty, the fiduciary duty that each of you owe, and to understand the conflicts of interest that might exist, and then what we do with conflicts of interest. So to begin, let me just briefly state what each of you already knows. Trustees owe to the university a duty of loyalty. So that means that trustees have an undivided allegiance to the university and its mission, and they must not use their position of trustee to secure a pecuniary benefit for themselves or a related party. Wait, Chris isn't going to be at this meeting, right? Okay, so I don't have to define pecuniary. What kinds of conflicts need to be disclosed? There are three kinds of conflicts: actual conflicts of interest, apparent or perceived conflicts of interest, and potential conflicts of interest. Very briefly, let's go over each of these types of conflicts. Actual conflicts of interest. An actual conflict of interest exists where financial or other personal or professional considerations compromise a trustee's objectivity, judgment, or integrity. Some examples of actual conflicts include: a trustee provides professional services to the university for pay, a trustee owns or is a director of a company that has a contract with the university, or a trustee is a relative of a university employee. In situations where there is an actual conflict of interest, it does not mean that trustees are bad people or that they cannot serve as a trustee. It simply means that the conflict has to be managed so that the conflict is not able to interfere with the trustee's fiduciary duty of loyalty. For example, the university can create plans that do not permit a conflicted trustee to participate in decisions made about a contract or an employee. Apparent or perceived conflicts of interest. Apparent or perceived conflicts of interest exist where a situation or relationship reasonably could appear to other parties to involve a conflict of interest. Some examples of apparent conflicts include: a trustee's sibling owns or is a leader of a company that does business with the university. A trustee is a member of a professional association that lobbies the state of California on higher education legislation. Or a trustee's child is a student at the university and a leader in student government or otherwise involved in some matter coming before the board. In situations where there is an apparent conflict of interest, again, it does not mean the trustees are doing anything wrong. It simply means that there needs to be awareness about how the apparent conflict might be perceived to interfere with the trustee's duty and therefore diminish the reputation of the board or university. For example, a trustee who is a parent of a softball player might plan to recuse her or himself from a discussion and vote on whether to build a new softball field. Potential conflicts of interest. Potential conflicts of interest exist in situations where there does not appear to be an actual conflict of interest, but where there is a reasonable possibility of an actual or apparent conflict coming into play. Some examples of potential conflicts include: a trustee purchases a real estate company in Redlands, and although the university and the trustees company do not currently have any dealings, it is not difficult to imagine that at some point the university and the trustees company will likely do business together. A university trustee serves as a trustee of a family trust originally set up by the trustees' parents, and the university is a named beneficiary of the family trust. Or a trustee's adult child graduated from the university but still owes a debt to the university. In situations where there is a potential conflict of interest, the important thing to do is prepare for how the university and trustee will handle the matter if and when the potential conflict becomes actual or apparent. Now next, I thought we would talk about what the university does with the information that you provide. First, you need to know that all forms are reviewed. The forms are first reviewed by the university controller and associate controller, who then consult with the vice president for finance and administration and now the General Counsel. Second, that team consults with the chair of the board's audit committee and prepares a report of all conflicts, both from trustees and from university officers and key administrators, and that report is shared with the full audit committee. Third, if necessary, the university will create a conflict of interest management plan. That plan is signed by the trustee, the board chair, the audit committee chair, and the university president. Conflicts by themselves are nothing to be ashamed of. In fact, the university benefits by having trustees who are engaged with many activities outside of their university service. We would be a poorer institution if no one had the possibility of any conflict. On the other hand, it is not in the university's interest to be secretive, insular, or dismissive about conflicts. If we can get the conflicts out, assess them, and manage them appropriately, then the university and its reputation is strengthened. Thank you for your commitment to the healthy, vibrant university, including appropriate disclosures and management of conflicts. And again, thank you for letting me join you in this alternate way. If you have questions, Carol, Ralph, or perhaps a member of the audit committee will be happy to address them.